A temple of coherence, nervous system, alchemy, and the wealth of calm, Naguho. Quantum. Opening your inner system chooses coherence as its primary language of creation. Every breath selects a timeline. Every heartbeat writes a contract with reality. Today, your field signs in gold. Lasher, Section 1. Deep Gaze. The existential architecture of calm. Calm is not the absence of intensity. Calm is a throne. In mythic space, the sovereign does not conquer by force. The sovereign stabilizes the climate of the kingdom through presence. Presence becomes weather. Weather becomes culture. Culture becomes fate. Imagine your life as a vast temple city. Streets are neural pathways. Plazas are somatic memories. Towers are archetypes watching the horizon. The warrior keeps the perimeter clear. The healer tends the fountains. The lover warms the kitchens with fragrance and song. The mystic opens the skylights for starlight to descend. When these archetypes cooperate, the city hums. When they feud, traffic locks, lights flicker, and the marketplace of decision-making collapses into hypervigilance or paralysis. Coherence is the great architect that harmonizes the guilds. It is the silent drum that sets the pace. Coherence is not a feeling that visits. It is a discipline that enthrones. The nervous system learns safety by rehearsal. The psyche learns dignity by boundary. The soul learns expansion by devotion. When these three complete the circuit, your aura grows a crystalline scaffolding. You do not force manifestations. You host them. You become a climate in which goodness germinates with minimal friction. In this temple city, every corridor carries an echo. Old grief whispers in stairwells. Ancestral fear rattles windows in the storm. Coherence does not exile those echoes. Coherence ushers them to the altar and invites translation. The echo becomes a bell. The bell becomes a vow. The vow becomes a path. The path is simple. Choose the throne. Breathe the pace. Keep the altar clean. Let the archetypes meet in council each morning. Offer your schedule to the light. Align your speech with your spine. Align your wallet with your heart. Align your desire with your service. Coherence arrives like dawn on marble. It reveals what was always there, now lit from within. Tasker Section 2. Scientific and Psychological Foundations. Humanistic Psychology. Honors your organismic wisdom. You are not a problem to fix. You are a process to support. Unconditional positive regard frees your nervous system from the cage of self-surveillance. Authenticity reduces cognitive load. Values-based living reorganizes priorities from the inside out, which lowers stress signatures across thought, emotion, and action. Transpersonal psychology recognizes states beyond the personal narrative. When you touch unity, the tight fist of identity rests. Meaning emerges as a felt current rather than an intellectual puzzle. Archetypes operate as inner organizing principles. Meeting the inner sovereign upgrades decision loops from reactivity to stewardship. Neuroplasticity gives the mechanics. The brain rewires through repetition linked with emotion and attention. Small rhythmic practices are stronger than rare heroic efforts. Coherence practices pair slow breathing with dignified posture and compassionate self-talk. This triad installs new, predictive models of safety, shifting the amygdala's threat calibration and allowing the prefrontal cortex to resume executive function. Polyvagal perspectives. At the map, ventral vagal tone is the physiological signature of social safety and curiosity. Dorsal collapse and sympathetic overdrive are not moral failures. They are strategies. Coherence trains a flexible vagal brake. You learn to move between activation and rest without losing connection. Cognitive behavioral mechanics. Meet PNLU. Submodalities are the formatting of inner experiences. Brightness, distance, volume, location in space. Change the formatting and you change the state. Anchor the state to a body cue and you build a button. Press the button. The system remembers. The remembered calm becomes a behavior, then a baseline, then a brand of being. All this science collaborates with soul. When Christic consciousness enters the lab, compassion becomes the solvent that dissolves shame. Love is not a sentiment. Love is a regulation technology. It reduces friction at the boundary between parts of self. Reduced friction frees energy. Free energy funds purpose. Section 3. Biodecoding. Applied. The body as an honest scribe. The body writes what the mouth refuses to speak. Symptoms are messages, not verdicts. Coherence learns the alphabet of somatic symbolism and answers with respect. Tight jaw, or grinding, often records unspoken boundaries. The molars do the work the lips avoided. The decoding is not guilt. The decoding is permission to speak with clarity and kindness. Chest pressure often frames grief or suppressed celebration. The heart acts as a customs gate. Joy and sorrow both seek passage. When blocked, pressure builds. A coherent breath becomes a visa. Most solar plexus knots frequently relate to dignity taxed by people-pleasing. The diaphragm contracts around a hidden invoice. Pay it with truth. Refund the overextended yes. Lower back heaviness can echo ancestral burden or money fear. The body becomes a ledger. Safe structure lightens the line items. Biodecoding invites a ritual of listening. Name the sensation. Name the emotion. Name the unmet need. Offer a corrective microaction. The symptom is respected as a messenger and then promoted dually. The stomach warns of misaligned agreements. The skin protests porous boundaries. The throat closes around swallowed authenticity. When you answer, the body becomes a choir. In coherence, organs sing their parts. The endocrine system conducts. The immune system keeps rhythm. Metabolism dances with circadian drums. Liberation path. 1. Acknowledge without drama. 2. Interpret with humility. Third act, with precision. 4. Anchor with repetition. 5. Celebrate small victories to train dopamine toward health rather than chaos. Every release is a contract update. The old clause of survival only dissolves. The new clause of dignified thriving enters the record. Your temple city receives fresh bylaws written in breath and light. PLEIADIan Section 4, Quantum PNL Toolkit, Protocols for Repatterning. These protocols are simple, precise, and cumulative. Practice daily and your baseline will lift. 1. Coherence breath with sovereign posture. Sit or stand with crown elongated, sternum soft, pelvis heavy. Inhale through the nose for 5 counts. Hold for 2. Exhale through the mouth for 7. On each exhale, whisper internally, I enthrone calm. Continue for 5 minutes. Log a check mark on a habit tracker. Consistency is currency. 2. State anchor. Golden nape touch. Recall a time of grounded triumph. See it, hear it, feel it. Intensify submodalities. Increase brightness. Bring the image closer. Raise the soundtrack's warmth. At peak, gently touch the back of your neck. Maintain for 10 seconds. Release. Repeat 3 times. Later, touch the same spot to call the state on demand during crucial conversations. 3. Boundary language, reframe. Old script, apology, over-explaining, delayed no. New script, thank you for understanding, here is what works for me. Followed by one clear option. Practice aloud daily, your tongue becomes trustworthy, your spine believes your tongue. 4. Belief editing with submodality, swap. Identify a limiting sentence such as, I must overperform to be accepted. See it as floating text in front of you. Drain its color to grayscale, shrink it to postage size, slide it off to the left until it slips behind your shoulder. Replace with, my presence is enough to begin. Expand to widescreen, add gentle luminescence, place it centered at heart height, breathe it in on 3 inhales. 5. Timeline sweep. Imagine a golden line of your life on the floor. Step onto past events related to overwhelm, one at a time. At each point, exhale the old contract and lay a small luminous tile labeled dignity. Walk to the present. Feel the tiled path under your feet. Step into a near future. Observe posture now straighter. Anchor with the neck touch. 6. Swish of social nervous system. Cue. Incoming message that used to spike adrenaline. Picture the cue small and dull. Swish to a future image of you reading messages with serene breath, shoulders soft, a glass of water nearby. Snap this new image large and close with a soft whoosh. Repeat 5 times quickly. 7. Micro-closure protocol. After any difficult exchange, close your eyes 30 seconds, hand on heart, hand on navel. Whisper, that event is complete. Shake wrists gently. Take one sip of water. This signals your nervous system that the episode ended, preventing residue accumulation. 8. Reciprocity calibration. Create a simple ledger with 2 columns, given and received. Each day, list 3 items in both columns. Adjust tomorrow's offers to move towards symmetry. Reciprocity stabilizes prosperity because it trains the field to cycle. Section 5. Spiritual Horizon and Christic Consciousness. Christic consciousness enfolds the world with a fierce, tender clarity. It sees every being as luminous architecture learning how to bear its own light without collapse or arrogance. It is not pious performance, it is elegant integrity. In this field, the inner sovereign kneels, not to shrink, but to align. Kneeling lengthens the spine in prayerful geometry. The crown becomes a skylight, the heart becomes a hearth. The hands become sacraments that bless calendars, contracts, meals, and messages. From this lens, wealth is not hoarding. Wealth is coherent circulation. Love is not softness that avoids truth. Love is the most accurate alignment in the room. Unity does not dissolve individuality. Unity tunes it. Your note matters because the choir is real. Dignity is devotion's first fruit. Generosity is its second. Strategy is its third. Spirit endorses strategy when the motive is clean. Bring in the bodhisattva calm from the empty yet full ground of being. Emptiness is not hollowness. Emptiness is structural spaciousness. It allows every experience to pass through without lodging. Pair this with psycho-magic gestures that translate inner insight into physical symbol. A white thread on your wrist to remember softness in strength. A small stone carried on decisive days to ground the solar plexus. A gold dot on the inner wrist to remind prosperity to circulate. Invite angelic intelligence as pattern language. Angels are coherent currents. They are architectures of kindness in motion. Ask them to optimize time, tidy the timeline, and soften friction as you keep human responsibility active. Grace and grit form a covenant. In that covenant, results accelerate because resistance decreases. Your temple city glows at twilight. Lanterns in each district. Choirs rehearse in plazas. Markets trade fairly. The sovereign walks unguarded among citizens, not naive, deeply aware, serene because boundaries hold and love flows. Basye, Section 6. Integrative ritual, the coherence consecration, duration, 21 minutes daily for 21 days, then maintain 11 minutes. Setup, a small white cloth as altar, a glass of water, a candle, a pen and notebook. Optional soft instrumental music, phone in airplane mode. Ritual steps. 1. Lighting, light the candle. Place your right hand above the flame, left hand on heart. State, I enthrone coherence as my daily climate. 2. Breath and posture. 5 minutes of coherence breath, spine tall, jaw soft. On each exhale, I enthrone calm. 3. Anointing the archetypes. Touch crown, throat, heart, solar plexus, lower belly. Each time naming archetypal roles. Sovereign, messenger, healer, warrior, lover. 4. Biodecoding. Listening. Scan your body from scalp to soles. Note any signal. In the notebook write sensation, emotion, need, micro-action. Commit to one precise move today. 5. PNL anchor and submodality. Swap. Install the golden nape touch while amplifying your serene success memory. Swap one limiting script as described above. 6. Reciprocity offering. Place 2 coins or 2 beans on the altar. Name one thing you will give and one you will receive with grace today. After the ritual, carry them as tangible reminders. 7. Seal with water. Speak into the glass. I circulate clarity and compassion, and drink slowly. 8. Closure gesture. Extinguish the candle with a soft wave of the hand, not by blowing. Whisper, the temple remains open in my breath. Weekly expansion. Day 7 and 14 perform a timeline sweep and lay 3 luminous tiles labeled dignity, reciprocity, clarity in your mind's path. On day 21, give the 2 coins or beans to the earth or a donation box to complete a cycle. High frequency closing, master phrase. Calm sits on my throne and my life bows into order. 24-hour quantum challenge. Speak 3 coherent sentences in contexts where you used to over-explain. Execute a single micro-action that your body requested during the scan. Log both in your ledger of given and received. Activation code. Whisper 3 times, touching the back of your neck each time. Anara L coherence. Anara L coherence. Anara L coherence. The temple city remembers. The throne is occupied. The climate is clear. Calm governs with luminous mercy. Prosperity circulates as dignified rhythm. Your day bends toward grace. Con amor, Andrew.